Hey everyone, it's Alyssa, and today I'm going to be showing you ways to balance school and cheer. And I know my voice might sound a little bit different today because I'm just getting over some sickness. And today, actually, I just came from judging and helping out with my cheer tryouts at OCC. And if you're wondering why I was judging and helping out rather than trying out, that's because I'm not going to be continuing that cheer program next year. I was debating on announcing that or not just because I know I'm probably going to get a lot of questions about that. I think that's just better saved for another video. Just stay tuned for that. I'll let you know everything and why I'm not going to be on the team anymore and future plans, we'll see. But anyways, so ways to balance school and cheer. We're just going to jump right into it. Okay, so let me just get this out of the way first. If you are not in cheer yet, or the season hasn't started up, and you're wondering how to balance school and cheer, please realize something. Cheer is a commitment, and if you don't think that you have the time to do cheer and do your schoolwork, then it's probably not a good idea to do a sport such as cheer. Cheer isn't just a sport where some sports, it doesn't matter if you're there 24/7. But I think we all know, if you're a cheerleader, that it's a team effort, and if one person isn't there to that practice, it affects the entire team. If I'm not there because I'm a base, then the stunt can't go up because you're missing a base. Like, it affects everybody. Make sure you realize that cheer is a huge commitment, and it's not something that won't affect everybody else. It's something that if you don't show up, the entire team is affected. So it's a lot more mandatory to show up to these things. It is a true commitment. Literally, you see quotes online all the time, stuff like eat, sleep, cheer, repeat. Like, that is true. If you're in cheer, especially in competitive cheer, that's how it is. Like, you are basically eating, sleeping, cheering, going to school, obviously, and repeat this process. Because cheer takes up a lot of time. Okay, so something you need to do when you are in school and cheer and you need to balance it is get your priorities straight. And what I mean by this is make sure that you are not putting one thing above the other in a negative way. Remember this, school honestly does come first. I don't think it's healthy to be missing a week of school to go to practice or to go to the summit. Like, honestly, I understand that cheer is very important, but you should be on top of scheduling things and scheduling your tests beforehand, talking to the teacher. Make sure that everything is settled and okay. Putting cheer up here and putting school all the way down here is not the way to go. And also, in addition, anyways, if you have a bad grade in school, I'm pretty sure the cutoff is usually a 2.0 or 2.5 GPA. If you have below that, the school will not let you cheer on the team. Maybe your school doesn't have that, but I know a lot of the schools in my area, there's like a cutoff. You have to have a certain GPA to stay on the team. And I know it's like that for football, basketball, everything. You have to have good grades to be able to play. They want to make sure that you're not putting the sport first. In some cases, I'm sure it's okay as long as you have it all under control and you have made your priorities straight. If you have a tumbling class every Monday, like I used to have in high school cheer, and you have a giant test the next day, and you just have to like study all you can, but you're like, wait, I have tumbling that day, then honestly, like, if it's that important, go ahead and like talk to your coach and ask them if it's okay that you missed tumbling class. Like, I'm sure she would understand. But also, we have to identify the difference between doing that and doing it for a good reason and blowing off cheer and saying, oh, I have to study, so I'm just gonna look at my book once and say that I'm studying, but I'm actually going to sleep instead of tumbling. It's actually happened. Like, it happens a lot, especially in high school cheer. People made up excuses for why they couldn't go to practice, and they would use school as an excuse, but they actually wouldn't do anything. Just how it is. People do it all the time. It's just school. You also need to really use your time wisely. You want to make sure that when you're spending free time with your friends or doing something unproductive or anything like that, make sure that it's because you don't have any school or cheer to do. Make sure that you are being productive and knowing that school and cheer are up here, obviously, because cheer and school are really big commitments. A lot of people blame the idea that they are not doing well in school because they have a really busy life and they have cheer and, you know, school's hard, but a lot of the times people are just really bad at time management. Like, they say those things, but yet again, they're hanging out with their friends every single day. I understand we need social lives, even though it's hard to have one with cheer. You guys feel me on that. Make sure you are using your time wisely. Don't just throw your time away doing something that doesn't really matter or doing something that you know you shouldn't be doing. What I would do in high school, since I was full-time athlete, student, and I took AP classes, I was in dance, I had to balance a social life, family life, and a relationship in high school. All of that, it was a little overwhelming. So what I always did was I made a schedule for like every day. You may think this is crazy, but it really helps. And I'm not talking a full-blown make a spreadsheet on Google, Word, Excel, or whatever. I just mean like go in your notes and write down, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna go to school, then I have cheer practice, then I'm gonna do my homework, and then I'm gonna go hang out with this person after I do my homework. You know, just like make sure you balance everything out. And writing a schedule for me and then being able to check it off, I felt so productive and I felt so good. And at the end of the day, looking back on the list with like all the check marks done, I had all my homework done, it was just a really good feeling, and it helped me a lot to balance school and cheer and everything else in my life. Another thing that really helps me in school and having cheer as well was getting a tutor, because when your life is that busy, sometimes we can't always, you know, pick up things. Like, we're gonna forget things. Like, our mind is gonna be everywhere. And having a tutor, especially for me for math, like, really helped me stay on top of things. And probably without having a tutor, I wouldn't go to them all the time, but like just before a big exam or something like that, I would get a tutor to refresh my mind like the day before, so I know I'm using my time wisely, and they go over everything with you. It's just great. Also, make sure you're getting enough sleep. I know you might think, what does this have to do with anything? But don't like be going out really late like when on a school night, obviously, because then you're going to be more drained throughout the day. Make sure you get a good breakfast and things like that. Get sleep, have a good breakfast, like drink some coffee, drink some tea, things like that, just because you want to have the energy throughout the day. You want your brain to be stimulating and working, get those wheels cranking in your brain. You want to be able to pick up that stuff in school and hit your stunts at practice all at the same time. Like, we have busy lives as cheerleaders, student athletes. It's a hard thing to do. So just make sure that you're doing everything you can to work efficiently. I know I had a bad problem of going to sleep at like 2 in the morning, just doing whatever. Like, I wouldn't be usually going out, but I would be like watching Netflix or like watching YouTube, or making cookies at 1 in the morning just because, I don't know, I just didn't want to go to sleep. But that is bad. I would make myself go to sleep at like 11:30 at the very latest. We all have different times that are like late and early for us, but for me an early time was like 11:30 just because I can fall asleep at 1 or 2 easily. So 11:30 was a really good time for me. Just like make it a goal to fall asleep at a certain time just so you have like, you know, the energy to just do everything throughout the day. If you do have a problem with like school and cheer, and it's just a time in cheer where it's really consuming your life, just talk to your teachers and let them know what's going on and ask them if they can help you out or what you could be doing. Honestly, like if it's that intense, like literally just do everything you can to achieve in school. If you ever wonder how people do it, how people balance school, being an amazing cheerleader, and have straight A's, it's because they're always constantly studying. And the times that they do go out with their friends is maybe like a time where they like know they're finished, they got everything done. Like people who have amazing grades and are athletes are because they dedicate a lot of their time to school. So that means they don't always take up that opportunity to go get ice cream with your friends. Just make sure that like you should be a good amount of times saying to people like, oh sorry, I can't do that because I'm studying, or I can't do that because I have cheer. It's just something that we have to deal with. Like that's how I was. And even if you need to, just talk to your teacher or go in during lunch or nutrition on campus and get help, or do your homework at school during lunch if you have to, because that is a way to get it out of the way so you have the rest of the day to do whatever or go to cheer. So that's my advice on how to balance school and cheer. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.